INDDIV Fears. Life Entrepreneurs, Ordinary People Creating Extraordinary Lives. Christopher Gergen, Greg Vanorik. Fears. INDDV Fears. INDDV, the 9th of January 08, 2 hours 51 minutes and 0 seconds AM. The 9th of January 08, 2 hours 51 minutes and 0 seconds AM. Fears. INDDIV Fears. INDDIV, the 9th of January 08, 2 hours 50 minutes and 57 seconds AM. The 9th of January 08, 2 hours 50 minutes and 57 seconds AM. More praise for life entrepreneurs. The real question is not how to just make a living, but how to make a life. Life Entrepreneurs helps all who are struggling to integrate money and meaning in their careers to do just that. Dr. Mark S. Albion, New York Times best-selling author of Making a Life, Making a Living, and True to Yourself. Highly effective people take a principled, integrated approach to life, inspired by vision and implemented with persistence. Gergen and Vanorik do a wonderful job bringing this philosophy to life through colorful storytelling and a well-conceived framework. Pick up this book and read it. It might change your life. Stephen R. Covey, best-selling author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and The 8th Habit. From Effectiveness to Greatness, Gergen and Vanorik provide a great roadmap for anyone who is looking to find success and fulfillment doing what they are passionate about. Steve Ells, founder, chairman, and CEO, Chipotle Mexican Grill. Like jazz musicians, good entrepreneurs improvise. Find the roads less traveled. Life Entrepreneurs does a great job of capturing this spirit and sharing valuable lessons for work and life. Gary Erickson, owner, founder, Cliff Bar & Company. Author of Raising the Bar, Life Entrepreneurs captures the essence of the creative age, where people are the true source of economic growth. Richard Florida, best-selling author of Rise of the Creative Class, director, Martin Prosperity Institute, Rotman School of Management. In Life Entrepreneurs, Christopher Gergen and Greg Vanorik address the central issue of every emerging leader. How can I design my life to be both fulfilling and significant? Through the life stories of many entrepreneurs who are impacting the world in dramatic ways, this compelling and refreshing new book provides deep insights that make it a must-read for all of us to use on our own journeys. Bill George, author of True North and Authentic Leadership, former chairman and CEO, Medtronic, At Last, a powerful guide to integrating life, work, purpose, and work-life balance. One of the greatest needs of leaders in all 3 sectors of the emerging workforce. Christopher and Greg bring a new definition, a new clarity to life entrepreneurship that will make a difference in the lives of leaders at every level. A great gift. Francis Hesselbein, chairman, Leader to Leader Institute, former CEO, Girl Scouts of America. Fears. INDDI Fears. INDDI, the 9th of January 08, 2 hours 50 minutes and 56 seconds AM. The 9th of January 08, 2 hours 50 minutes and 56 seconds AM. Life Entrepreneurs is wonderfully written, highly engaging, and inspiring. As people who aspire to be an entrepreneurial couple, we found Gergen's and Vanorik's book full of thoughtful insights and powerful strategic advice on how to live a life that integrates and balances family, friends, work, and personal fulfillment. The authors demonstrate how anyone can become a life entrepreneur. This book is a gift for all of us. Alan Kazay, co-founder, City Year Inc., and Vanessa Kirsch, president and founder, New Profit Inc. This is provocative reading for all those committed to creating a life of significance and meaning. Filled with helpful strategies and hopeful stories, Life Entrepreneurs is an intriguing, challenging guide for the next generation of leaders. Wendy Kopp, president and founder, Teach for America. Our work and life can be a great adventure, an opportunity to serve people in compelling and meaningful ways. In this book, we gain powerful insights on how to realize those important possibilities. Linda Mason, chairman and co-founder, Bright Horizons Family Solutions. Gergen and Vanorik offer a fresh and vital approach to life and career planning. The book speaks directly to the younger generations of Americans who increasingly reject pigeonholed and segmented careers but, instead, are choosing to create integrated lives with passion, connection, and significance. I highly recommend this book to anyone who is seeking the good life. James O'Toole, author of Creating the Good Life, former executive vice president, Aspen Institute. Gergen and Vanorik have done a spectacular job shining a light on a new approach to professional success and personal fulfillment, the life entrepreneur. With dozens of inspiring profiles and page after page of smart advice, This book belongs on the nightstand of every thoughtful businessperson in America. Daniel H. Pink, New York Times best-selling author of A Whole New Mind and Free Agent Nation, Life Entrepreneurs offers a new way of thinking about life and work, and a window into the future. I highly recommend it. Robert Reich, former U.S. Secretary of Labor, business leaders and entrepreneurs alike will greatly benefit from Life Entrepreneurs. It captures the essential qualities of leadership including finding a worthy path, being willing to fail, and taking courageous action. I highly recommend it. Howard Schultz, Chairman, Starbucks Coffee Company. This book is true, smart, honest, hopeful, and helpful. It is essential reading for anyone who shares the belief that work and life aren't two separate categories, divided by pain, pressure, and a paycheck. Instead, here's the good news. Entrepreneurship isn't just a way of making a living, it's a way of life. Buy this book, read it, and then do it. Alan M. Weber, co-founding editor, Fast Company magazine, former editorial director, Harvard Business Review Fears. INDDE Fears. INDDE the 9th of January 08 2 hours 50 minutes and 56 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 50 minutes and 56 seconds AM. Life Entrepreneurs Fears. INDDE Fears. INDDE the 9th of January 08 2 hours 50 minutes and 57 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 50 minutes and 57 seconds AM. Fears. INDDIV Fears. INDDIV the 9th of January 08 2 hours 50 minutes and 57 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 50 minutes and 57 seconds AM. A Warren Bennis book. This collection of books is devoted exclusively to new and exemplary contributions to management thought and practice. The books in this series are addressed to thoughtful leaders, executives, and managers of all organizations who are struggling with and committed to responsible change. My hope and goal is to spark new intellectual capital by sharing ideas positioned at an angle to conventional thought. In short, to publish books that disturb the present in the service of a better future. Fears. INDDV Fears. INDDV the 9th of January 08 2 hours 50 minutes and 57 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 50 minutes and 57 seconds AM. Books in the Warren Bennis Signature Series. Brandon Self-Esteem at Work. Mitroff, Denton. A Spiritual Audit of Corporate America. Shine the Corporate Culture Survival Guide. Sample the Contrarian's Guide to Leadership. Lawrence, Noria. Driven Cloak. Goldsmith. The End of Management and the Rise of Organizational Democracy. Glenn. Leading Geeks. Cloak. Goldsmith. The Art of Waking People Up. George. Authentic Leadership. Kohlreiser. Hostage at the Table. Road. Moral Leadership. George. True North. Townsend. Up the Organization. Kellerman, Road. Women and Leadership. Reggio. The Art of Followership. Fears. INDDV Fears. INDDV the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 0 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 0 seconds AM. Life Entrepreneurs Ordinary People Creating Extraordinary Lives. Christopher Gergen. Greg Vanoreck. Fears. INDDV Fears. INDDV the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 0 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 0 seconds AM. Copyright 2008 by Christopher Gergen and Greg Vanoreck. All rights reserved. Published by Josie Bass A. Wiley Imprint 989 Market Street, San Francisco, California, 941031741, www.josiebass.com. No part of this publication may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording, scanning, or otherwise, except as permitted under Section 107 or 108 of the 1976 United States Copyright Act, without either the prior written permission of the publisher, or authorization through payment of the appropriate per-copy fee to the Copyright Clearance Center, Inc., 222 Rosewood Drive, Danvers, Massachusetts, 01923 978 750 8400, fax 978 646 8600, or on the web at www.copyright.com. Requests to the publisher for permission should be addressed to the Permissions Department, John Wiley & Sons, Inc., 111 River Street, Hoboken, New Jersey, 07030, 201-748-6011, fax 201-748-6008, or online at www.wiley.com/go/permissions. Readers should be aware that internet websites offered as citations and/or sources for further information may have changed or disappeared between the time this was written and when it is read. Limit of liability, disclaimer of warranty. While the publisher and author have used their best efforts in preparing this book, they make no representations or warranties with respect to the accuracy or completeness of the contents of this book and specify clearly disclaim any implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. No warranty may be created or extended by sales representatives or written sales materials. The advice and strategies contained herein may not be suitable for your situation. You should consult with a professional where appropriate. Neither the publisher nor author shall be liable for any loss of profit or any other commercial damages, including but not limited to special, incidental, consequential, or other damages. Josie Bass books and products are available through most bookstores. To contact Josie Bass directly, call our customer care department within the U.S. at 800-956-7739, outside the U.S. at 317-572-3986. or fax 317-572-4002. Josie Bass also publishes its books in a variety of electronic formats. Some content that appears in print may not be available in electronic books. Library of Congress Cataloging in Publication Data. Gergen, Christopher, 1970. Life Entrepreneurs, Ordinary People Creating Extraordinary Lives, Christopher Gergen, Greg Vanorek. P. CM. Includes bibliographical references and index. ISBN 978-0-7879-88623, Cloth. 1. Creative Ability in Business. 2. Entrepreneurship. 3. Work and Family. 4. Maturation, Psychology. I. Vanorek, Greg. 2. Title: HD 53, G472008650.1, DC 2220070495549. Printed in the United States of America. First edition. HB Printing. 10987654321. Fears. INDDV. Fears. INDDV. The 9th of January 08, 2 hours 51 minutes and 0 seconds AM. The 9th of January 08, 2 hours 51 minutes and 0 seconds AM. Ix Contents. Forward, by Warren Bennis. She. Introduction. XV List of interviews. XXVIIP Art O'Neill, SURVEYING. The LANDSCAPE. 1. Understanding Life Entrepreneurship. 3. 2. Life Entrepreneurs in Action. 25. 3. Discovering Core Identity. 38. P. Art Two. P. Preparing for the JOURNEY. 4. Awakening to Opportunity. 65. 5. Envisioning the Future. 86. Developing Goals and Strategies. 93. P. Art THREE. B. Blazing AT Rail. 7. Building Healthy Support Systems. 111. 8. Taking Action and Making a Difference. 129. 9. Embracing Renewal and Reinvention. 145. Conclusion. Creating a New Future. 165. Appendix A. Life Entrepreneurship Primer. 181. Appendix B. Exercises and Helpful Resources. 187. Appendix C. Interview Methodology. 189. Notes. 191. The Authors. 199. Acknowledgements. 201. Index. 205. FTOC. INDDX. FTOC. INDDX. The 10th of January 08, 9 hours 44 minutes and 59 seconds PM. The 10th of January 08, 9 hours 44 minutes and 59 seconds PM. FTOC. INDDX. FTOC. INDDX. The 10th of January 08, 9 hours 45 minutes and 0 seconds PM. The 10th of January 08, 9 hours 45 minutes and 0 seconds PM. From Christopher, to Heather and Maya, Team Daddy, and to Mom and Dad. My Roots and Wings. From Greg, to Alexandra, enamored with life and awash in possibility. FBETW. INDD. She. FBETW. INDD. She. The 9th of January 08, 2 hours 53 minutes and 55 seconds AM. The 9th of January 08, 2 hours 53 minutes and 55 seconds AM. FBETW. INDD. She. FBETW. INDD. She. The 9th of January 08, 2 hours 53 minutes and 55 seconds AM. The 9th of January 08, 2 hours 53 minutes and 55 seconds AM. She. Forward. Usually in business books that tackle the notion of entrepreneurship, there is the unspoken, and sometimes spoken, assumption that to be an entrepreneur, you have to give 110% to your work at the expense of other aspects of your life. These authors focus on how to create extraordinary organizations, while ignoring the balance and quality of the entrepreneur's life as a whole. But our leg ACY is so much more than the bottom line. What I love about this book is that Christopher Gergen and Greg Vanorik have turned that proposition on its head. Both have succeeded as entrepreneurs, in business, education, non-profit TS, and more. But at pivotal moments in their lives, each wondered whether they had been channeling their energy and attention into the right things. What they realized is that by turning their entrepreneurial spirit toward other aspects of their lives, they could create something extraordinary and much more fulfilling, both personally and professionally. This is one of the most inspiring and unique books I have come across in a long time. It addresses many of the most daunting dilemmas that modern workers, especially those under FTY, face. How can I achieve meaning, personal growth, and happiness? How can I impact the world and other people in a positive way? Can I overcome my fears and challenge the status quo to become the person I feel I should be? And on top of it all, how can I find the time and the means to answer these questions while trying to make a living? The authors deserve much credit for addressing these issues in a totally novel way, one that not only instructs but entertains. Their concept of life entrepreneurship is a deep one. Not only have they done RSTHAND research by finding fascinating, real, life entrepreneurs to share their stories, they have also asked Defi Cult Flast, INDD She Flast, INDD She the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 37 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 37 seconds AM. Questions and distilled their commonalities so that the rest of us can start to examine our paths as well, at any age and place in life. And this book couldn't come at a better time. The world has rarely needed capable leaders more than it does now, and this need goes far beyond the boardroom. We need it in terms of family, community, and social responsibility. Life Entrepreneurs cuts right to the essence of leadership in that it seeks to integrate all of these and encourages us to align our values with everything we do and take responsibility for every facet of our lives. But above all, life entrepreneurship is an adventure. It doesn't just arise from need, but from desire, to be something more, to create something new, to explore beyond the usual boundaries. It's an appeal to all of us to become our best selves. As the authors say, the opportunities for challenge, contribution, and fulfillment are there. We just have to grab them. Warren Bennis, Santa Monica, California, November 2007. XIVFOREWORD Flast, INDDXIV Flast, INDDXIV the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 37 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 37 seconds AM. XVINTRODUCTION. The idea for this book came to us one warm spring afternoon in Virginia, as we sat on a picnic bench with an intriguing question. How can we create extraordinary lives? As we wrestled with this question, we drew on a source of mutual inspiration, the power of creating innovative new enterprises. We are both entrepreneurs. Between us, we have started or helped to start companies, non-profit TS, schools, a foundation, a national government initiative, and even a live music cafe in South America. We wondered if that entrepreneurial approach could be applied to our lives. As we sat and talked, our lives were at crossroads. Greg was reclaiming his life after a startup experience that was both thrilling and punishing. After helping to build a FL Edgeling venture into a national education enterprise, he was eager to take a new direction in life, one definitively of his own choosing. Christopher was ready to pursue a new challenge after founding an online tutoring company that serves students globally. Both of us were starting families and were committed to embracing and upholding that awesome responsibility. Under the hot Virginia sun, we discussed how our penchant for creating new ventures might fit into the context of our lives. Could we apply the entrepreneurial mindset of opportunity recognition, vision creation, innovation, and initiative to create a better life? Could we creatively design a life aligned with our values? Could we lead our lives in such a way that our work, life, and purpose would be not only balanced but integrated? The questions were provocative and disquieting. We sensed that the answers carried significant implications for how we could live. In pursuit of understanding, we reflected on our own experiences and conducted research in the fields of entrepreneurship, leadership, and personal development. Mostly, though, FLAST, INDDXV Flast, INDDXV the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 38 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 38 seconds AM. We listened to others. In the end, we went out and interviewed 5FTY5A business and social entrepreneurs, all of whom brought a certain amount of entrepreneurial fluid air to their lives as well as their work. Nearly all come from ordinary backgrounds, yet they have created extraordinary lives for themselves and those around them through a mix of drive and direction. You have probably heard of some of their organizations: Starbucks, Chipotle, Cranium, Cliff Bar, Real Networks, Hannah Anderson, KIP, the Knowledge is Power Program, Share Our Strength, and perhaps others. The people we interviewed range from prominent figures to less well-known folks, from business, non-profit, and political leaders to chefs, musicians, journalists, professors, and ministers, even a rancher, a GHTER pilot, and a yoga instructor. Their professional accomplishments are exceptional, but what really differentiates them is the way they have led entrepreneurial lives, on their terms and aligned with their values and priorities. In the course of these interviews, we sought to learn about the people behind the enterprises. Who are they? What makes them tick? Who influenced them? Why and how did they make the decisions they did? What mistakes have they made? What have they learned? What advice do they have for others? Their answers are important because they show how entrepreneurial principles can be applied to life. These are lessons that hold promise for all of us, not just those who have started an enterprise or hung out a shingle. In many ways, we consider this cohort of FTY5A to be pioneers of living in today's world, harbingers of what the future might hold in store. For us, the interview process was powerful. It deepened our understanding of the issues, challenges, struggles, and strategies of entrepreneurs. It forced us to look closely at our own life decisions and often left us inspired. In their stories, we found incredible examples of passion, courage, integrity, perseverance, and service. When transcriptions of these interviews were compiled, altogether about 1,000 pages of text, powerful themes were sounded, like a chorus of voices converging in unscripted harmony. Here are some of the major patterns we spotted. All of the entrepreneurs we interviewed made a conscious decision to walk their own path and forge their own future, often going against prevailing expectations. XVIINTRODUCTION FLAST. INDDXVI FLAST. INDDXVI the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 38 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 38 seconds AM. There was a direct correlation between the purposefulness and conviction with which they walk their path in life and the passion and joy they feel for their life and work. Many of them don't think of themselves as dividing their time between work and life. For many, these are integrated, not compartmentalized, pursuits. They are creating, owning, and taking responsibility for every facet of their lives with an integrated approach. Their dispositions toward risk were all over the map, ranging from those who were somewhat risk-averse to a few intrepid, risk junkies. But they were all willing to take measured risks in pursuit of a worthy project or goal. They saw risk as an inherent part of life and took steps to mitigate it through thoughtful planning and disciplined execution. All of them have experienced failure and dealt with significant setbacks. Many have encountered life-changing episodes of tragedy, illness, loss, financial difficulty, and more. Several found great value in stepping off the path to renew, recharge, and sometimes reinvent their lives, discovering that periods of activity and achievement must be counterbalanced with periods of rest and regrouping. Their life path was usually a winding one, not linear. In most cases, it made much more sense looking backward. As they moved forward, they were both shaping the future and responding to it. Most of them came to the conclusion that it's not all about them, far from it. They have cultivated healthy support systems, and many have become deeply connected, civic-minded leaders. From these interviews and our research and experiences, we conclude that leading life in an entrepreneurial manner can be what tips our lives from ordinary to extraordinary. Moreover, it directly addresses a number of challenges currently facing our society. As such, this approach has the potential to transform not only individual lives but also the culture of our workplaces, the dynamics of our communities, and the attitudes and behaviors of rising generations of leaders. Let's be clear, this approach to life is not solely for business and social entrepreneurs. It is a path that is available to all who choose it as a strategy to improve and transform lives. INTRODUCTIONXVII FLAST. INDDXVII FLAST. INDDXVII the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 38 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 38 seconds AM. We are both in our mid-30s, part of a seeking generation navigating a rapidly changing world and searching for a better way to live. Our experiences, research, and interviews have shown us that there is an emerging trend among rising generations, one of rejecting past approaches to stable careers, job security, and lives built around safety, security, and status. In their place, we are seeing more and more people building their lives around passion, connection, and significance. This approach is filling a growing need among generations of young people eager to find and sound their own voice in today's world in the hope of improving it. This approach is also becoming a new model for learning, leading, living, and serving. As such, we believe that now is the time to name this emerging phenomenon, define it, and draw out its lessons and implications. We call it life entrepreneurship, creating a life of significance through opportunity recognition, innovation, and action. An entrepreneurial life tracks the rhythms of startups, identifying a need, recognizing an opportunity, creating a vision, developing a plan, building a support network, taking action, mitigating risk, adapting to challenges, evaluating progress, making adjustments, and cycling through the process again. We believe that entrepreneurship is not solely the province of the professional. It is a mindset, approach, and process that can be applied to any endeavor, including that of leading our lives. In the same way that a business or social entrepreneur creates an enterprise through artful combinations of vision, creativity, dynamism, and risk, so too can we, any one of us, build an extraordinary life. We can fashion a life that is purposeful, self-directed, and aligned with who we truly are, providing us with opportunities for challenge, contribution, and fulfillment. The central thesis of this book is this: the path to a better life for growing numbers of people today is to apply the principles of entrepreneurship to life itself. Those principles were developed and honed in the business world and have migrated to the civic sector. Increasingly, it is becoming clear that, when applied to our lives, they can be catalytic and positively transformative. Although this approach is being embraced by younger generations, and may be part of our lasting legacy, it is not confined to us. The trend transcends barriers of age, gender, and nationality. XVIINTRODUCTION FLAST. INDDXVII FLAST. INDDXVII the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 38 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 38 seconds AM. We will see this in the pages that follow, with life entrepreneurs in their 20s and others in their 60s, from Montana to New Jersey to Brazil and South Africa. This book is about how to lead an entrepreneurial life, discovering what we call our core identity, envisioning the good life, and taking action to pursue it with all the grit and vigor we can muster. It illustrates life entrepreneurship through an action-able framework and stories of 5FTY5A extraordinary people who have blazed these trails. We wrote this book to help people lead meaningful and significant lives. It is for a wide-ranging audience, including emerging leaders and budding entrepreneurs, those interested in entrepreneurial leadership, personal development, and community building, and those contemplating or experiencing a life or career change, facing a challenge or crisis, or starting to think about their legacy. Books about life and how to live it are not meant for small niches. This book is different from most leadership and business books because it takes an integrated approach to work and life, recognizing that these converge. It is different from most personal development books because it draws on entrepreneurship as a catalyst for extraordinary lives. And it draws heavily on the unique, real-world stories of 5FTY5A people who have found success in life and work. This book is necessary because there are many common traps that we fall into as we navigate our lives. Many of us walk a path in life that others have chosen for us, letting others dictate our career, choices, and fate. Others stick with the FIRST path they come upon, doggedly committing to a career or profession that may not be a good fit with their values and aspirations. We compartmentalize our work and life with artificial distinctions and with no expectation that two could be integrated. We fall prey to burnout that comes from information overload, perpetual busyness, and racing against the clock. We fail to plan with our whole lives in mind, consumed by the pressing obligations of the day. We defer our dreams to a distant and precarious future through rationalizations and compromise. We give too much weight to the aspects of our lives that are material, tangible, and productized at the expense of those that are personal, interconnected, and lasting. And we cocoon at home or in the office when we introduction she flast. INDD she flast. INDD she the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 39 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 39 seconds AM. Could be engaging with our neighbors and communities. This book provides a roadmap for how we can get back on track. Although the book addresses the challenges many people face in navigating an abundance of choices, we also recognize that there are too many people today with a dearth of choices. In that respect, this book is a call to arms to be part of the solution by helping to expand opportunities for others. Even as we live the best lives we are capable of, we can also choose to use our energy, talent, and resources to contribute to our communities and those who have less. For those who might view life entrepreneurship only as a luxury of the well-to-do, we call their attention to what Henry David Thoreau called our ability to elevate our condition through conscious endeavor, a gift that is universally available, though admittedly more difficult in unfavorable circumstances. Some might choose skepticism, but we are inclined to place our bet on the fortitude and resourcefulness of the human spirit. The premise behind this book is that we all have the potential to be life entrepreneurs, and when we choose to be purposeful, creative, and dynamic leaders of our own lives, we strengthen our relationships, increase our happiness, and enhance our ability to make a difference in our families, workplaces, community, and beyond. Emerging generations of leaders are finding that we don't fit neatly into life's categories of professions, trades, and beaten paths. There is so much we want for our work and lives that transcends those conventions. We are rejecting the prospect of being slotted into prescribed, lifetime jobs. Instead, we are embracing multi-sector, multifaceted careers. We strive to make lasting contributions to worthy fields, such as business, technology, education, healthcare, poverty reduction, and the environment. But we recognize there are many means to accomplish these ends. We are willing to work hard, but we are wary of work without authenticity or potential for measurable impact. For too many, our long march of jobs has been divorced from the larger context of what we want in our lives and how we can best put our talents to use for others. Where can we go to figure out what we want for the whole of our lives? How can we start building a life that integrates family, health, career, friendship, community, learning, and other priorities in practical ways? XXINTRODUCTION FLAST. INDDXX FLAST. INDDXX the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 39 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 39 seconds AM. There is an urgency to these questions. Currently, too many of us buy into the false dichotomy of either paying the rent or leading a life of fulfillment, reluctant to believe the two can go together. The unhappy result is an existence of compromise. Today, about 6% of people in the US call themselves very happy, a number that has declined since 1950. One psychologist, Edward Daner, who has spent his career studying happiness, has noted that the average score on a test of life satisfaction in the US is slightly satisfied. Nearly 25% of US employees are dissatisfied with their jobs, and only 14% of employees are very satisfied with them. These data points are similar in other countries and cultures. Part of the problem is that we are overly concerned with how we stack up against others, and we are becoming hyper-individualistic. Although record numbers of people are working for themselves, they often do it by staring into a computer screen. We are cocooning ourselves into oversized houses and oversized cars with an ever-growing array of technological gadgets. In our world of 24/7 connectivity, we are less connected to our communities. We are running harder, working longer, and earning more, but to what end? It has left us, as philosopher William James put it, only half awake, sleepwalking through life, blind to the opportunities that surround us. Looking at the big picture, we face widening economic disparity, global poverty, hunger, and disease, business and political corruption scandals, climate change, and more. People are beginning to wake up and realize that the traditional ways of living and leading are not working. Existing institutions are not sufficient, and our current ways of thinking are not up to the task. We can do something. By taking responsibility for our lives and the challenges in our communities, we can turn helplessness into hopefulness. This sense of personal ownership and accountability allows us to approach our lives in a way that is good both for our own well-being and for the community at large. When we have the courage to pursue possibilities and solutions with vision, passion, and persistence, our lives take on new signified cants and the joy of living is unparalleled. INTRODUCTIONXXI FLAST. INDDXXI FLAST. INDDXXI the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 39 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 39 seconds AM. In his groundbreaking book Authentic Happiness, Martin Seligman, one of the forefathers of the positive psychology movement, points to research that happiness is derived from three factors. 1. Pleasure, the whatever makes you feel good variety. 2. Engagement, the depth of involvement in family, work, romance, and hobbies. 3. Meaning, using personal strengths to serve some larger end. Of the three, pleasure is the most fluid eating and least consequential. As Seligman points out, this is newsworthy because so many Americans build their lives around pursuing pleasure. It turns out that engagement and meaning are much more important. 3. Our interviews and personal experiences bear this out. Take, for example, the time that Christopher decided to leave a blossoming career as a writer for headline news at the cable news network, CNN, to spend a year traveling solo through Latin America. He had gone to work for CNN, a Santa Ble. Responsible job coming out of college, mostly because it was expected of him. The job had prestige, and it was an easy thing to explain to his parents and their friends. In Keeping Up with the Joneses, he was making all the right moves. But it wasn't him. Although the job was rich in intellectual stimulation, the passion wasn't there. So, against the advice of all, he gathered his savings and headed south. He ended up in Santiago, Chile, where he landed a job with a television network developing distance education programming. There he quickly noticed that, although Santiago had more than 24 universities and every plaza was Phi LLED with young POPLE painting or playing a guitar, there was no creative place to bring all this energy together. With a passion for art and music and nothing to lose, he started exploring what it would take to create such a space, a cultural gathering spot for young bohemians where Chile's fine wines could be poured to the sound of live music and theater every night. He shared this vision with a group of local artists and actors he had met during his travels, and they embraced the idea. His adrenaline fluid owed as the idea grew from the proverbial sketch on XXIIINTRODUCTION FLAST. INDDXXII FLAST. INDDXXII the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 39 seconds AM the 9th of January 08 2 hours 51 minutes and 39 seconds AM. A napkin into a full FL-edged community effort. Despite the fact that none of the original partners had any experience starting or running a restaurant or bar, or any business, for that matter, the concept gained momentum. After several months of seeking funding, they raised $40,000 from local investors. Soon after, a 4,000-square-foot Victorian mansion near the artistic neighborhood of Plaza Ñuñoa was transformed into an 80-seat restaurant, rotating art gallery, bar, and theater featuring live music, one-act plays, and Phi LM 7 nights a week. Christopher had never felt more alive. As he biked through the city to the cafe, he was fully awake to life's possibilities. By choosing to leave Atlanta and take his own path in life, one against the grain of professional and parental expectations, he found that new doors were being open and new relationships were flourishing. One of these friendships was with a university president who had started his own college with just 2 classrooms and 5 FTY students. Within 5 years, it had ballooned to 8,000 students. When asked what he called himself, he replied, "Un empresario cultural, a cultural entrepreneur." Though Christopher had never considered himself an entrepreneur, here was a person doing with his life just what Christopher dreamed of, taking a big idea and making it happen in the service of others. That day, Christopher made a promise to himself that he too would become a cultural entrepreneur and use his entrepreneurial passions to create new learning environments for others.